All right, here we go. We got ourselves another fresh series coming at you between two of the greatest to ever touch the game. Spawning down on the bottom right for Basilisk, it is Serral. In the red. And his opponent spawning up in the top left. He's had his hands full with Serral in last several matches. I think going back like 7 series, he's yet to win one. So can he do it now? For Onside Gaming, it's Maru in the blue. This is being played in the Masters Coliseum 7. This is the what do you call it? Not group stage, but it is the Swiss format, which I suppose you could call is kind of like a group stage. Both of these players are at 1-0 in their records. It is a 16-player Swiss stage, which means that there are basically, it's a 3 or 3, I don't know, situation. 3 wins you advance, 3 losses you are out. And that's about all we need to say about that. Now, we are going to be seeing a low ground double barracks here, which is almost certainly going to be a 2 Rax Reaper play. In theory, we could see Maru throw down a 3rd barracks, and it could be a very aggressive, committed attack, but that's not really Maru's cup of tea. That's more of a Beyond type of thing. And we've already passed the timing to throw down that 3rd barracks, so we're not going to be seeing that, I don't think. But Maru has been one of those players that has kind of switched things up a little bit and has, over time, gone for not just the 3 Reapers, but has started going for a 4th and 5th Reaper in some scenarios in order to make sure that he gets the denial on the 3rd hatchery. Now, Serral does not go for the immediate Overlord Scout right across the map. He was looking around for a proxy barracks, potentially. And he does see the Reaper. That is a timing at which the Reaper cannot cannot really get out. But it's very easy to just miss it by a little bit and not be sure. But there we go. Now he sees the barracks, and he will know that this is a 2 Rax Reaper opening. He does go with a very quick ling speed. Not going to be that 30-second delayed ling speed, which would make this a lot more difficult to deal with. Oh, drone gets sniped. Maru gets the block on the extractor morph. That is a great start for Maru already. And he almost gets one of those lings as well. Serral, this is not the cleanest start for him to begin with. Ooh, nice grenade right there on the Queen. Good target fire on one of the lings as well. And another drone gets picked off. This is already some significant damage coming in from Maru. And behind this, it is a fast, obviously, expansion and 3rd command center. This is looking very good for Maru. Now, I talked about the 4th and 5th Reapers. If your opponent doesn't open up with a quick 3rd hatchery, which Serral is not, there's no reason to get those 4th and 5th Reapers. So, as far as damage goes, this is great for Maru so far. He is going a little bit deep, but as long as you get out before that 3:30 timing, or at least you leave yourself an avenue to escape before that 3:30 timing, you're pretty much fine. And Maru, yeah, this is... against a player like Serral, this is as good as it gets, and he gets the creep tumor. Now, he goes very deep here, and he will likely lose these Reapers. Jukes for a moment, so it's going to let him get 1 or 2 extra kills, but yeah, there should be no escape for these Reapers. Serral will get the chase down, and at least that ends up being a full cleanup. That is good for Serral, but it is still a painful situation. Oh, is Serral going to lose this Overlord? Oh, it's pretty close, but it will go down just before it can escape. Serral did see the 3rd CC, but this is an amazing start for Maru, I gotta say. And Serral getting supply blocked like that really hurts. He's only on 38 drones at the moment. Oh man, this is about as good as it gets for Maru. And behind this, Maru going very greedy with the double engineering bay timing. Extremely fast 1-1 upgrades behind this. And Serral, I mean, if he had gone for like a Baneling bust, this could have been really scary for Maru. Maru's got no idea that could, like, what Serral is doing. And there's really just not a whole lot of info for Maru at all, but Serral not really the kind of player to go for that. Maru does snipe down a ling, but a very quick reaction from Serral gets out of there. That is something that a lot of the Korean Zerg started doing Specifically, I think Dark and Solar. Even Shin, actually. So that's really the majority of them. Started going for some of these Ling Bane all-ins to try and punish the low ground 2-racks. But Serral not going to be doing that. In fact, he will be going for a fast 1-1 upgrades of his own. But with how much faster and how greedy Maru's setup is, this is still going to be a big upgrade advantage for Maru. Now, will he be able to get anything done with that? I think he very likely will. We're going to have a double medevac hit in the field pretty soon. Serral, he is droning up. He's getting up to 54 drones, starts up the layer. Got a 4th base on the way, but he is certainly in an uncomfortable position. There is no doubt of that. And Maru landing his 3rd command center, going to be able to start mining from that. Serral, it really feels like he needs to either clean up this first push cleanly, or he needs to get some counter damage done to kind of get back into this game a little bit. And you might be saying, oh, the supplies, they favor Serral right now. Yes, but he does not have a big drone count. And at this point in the game, you want to be on like a minimum of 66 drones, I think, is deserved. Maru, he is going to spot these Lings kind of moving around. He's being very aggro without the medevacs. They just now hit the field. If Serral had caught some of these units, it could have been a little bit scary for Maru, but he's on 1-1 anyways. Now, speaking of catching units, very nice little counterattack from Serral. Grabs a few Marines. Oh, he's going to pick the fight. Does get a good wraparound there. And despite the upgrades and combat shields, at least he trades out a little bit. Still, Maru is able to clean it up. How many Lings was that in total? 18 Lings for 6 Marines. Yeah, that's still much better for Maru. Serral, though, going to be able to aggressively defend his creep spread. Maru getting pushed back by these queens. And the 1-1 will complete for Serral. Maru actually missed his 2-2 timing by a fair amount. So he's going to lose a lot of the upgrade timing advantage that he did have. Ooh, Maru will spot these Lings. Just a small handful of them from Serral, but they're going to get a spot on the 4th command center. They're going to actually delay it a little bit. Man, just 5 Lings getting a lot done. Meanwhile, Serral will push Maru back from this watchtower position. And honestly, I said Serral needed to get something done. It's not so much... He hasn't really gotten anything big, but he's gotten a couple of small things. If he can get a cancel on this 4th command center, that would be huge. But Maru is going to come back home with the Marines from the first medevac drop. Serral, he's been pretty disruptive. He's been pretty disruptive of what Maru's wanted to do. And it's a really nice recovery after a very uncomfortable early game. Great job from Serral to get himself back into this one. Maru, though, still feels like he's got a little bit of momentum. There isn't a whole lot of creep on this bottom side. Serral needs to figure out that the push is coming his way. And it looks like he has been able to do so. He's got Lings and Banes in position. He is adding on a Hydra Den. Widowmine will burrow on up. There's a few Widowmines with this. Maru's just going to snipe down the gas. Serral going to try and go for the fight. Widowmine. Oh, big shot on the Banelings right there. And another big one behind it. The 3rd Widowmine didn't get too much done, but the first 2 were absolute gangbusters. That was very good for Maru. Widowmines do ultimately get cleaned up, so there's that at least. And Serral is respreading the creep. But Maru going to move forward into the middle of hard lead. Serral has had some trouble with hard lead in the past. In the very recent past, I would say. Big Mulehammer, by the way, dropping on this base. Maru going to try and do a little bit of multi-prong here, but Serral is on top of it. Good job with the Ling Bane, and does manage to mitigate that Widowmine very effectively, as well as this next one, and this last one. Wow. Good job from Serral, and actually getting 5 SCVs on the other side of the map. Very nice sequence here from Serral. Maru does have the 2-2 advantage for the moment, but it is going to disappear very quickly. Ooh, Maru will drop back in here, but Serral on top of it once again. And with Hydra starting to hit the field. Oh, nice little spread right here from Maru. Lings it, man, great spread from Maru. Lings and Banes not able to get the connections that they wanted. Serral starts up the +1 missile. Does he have Hive done? No. In fact, he doesn't even have an infestation pit started. So Serral is really far behind. There's that infestation pit. Really far behind in the tech. is what I was going to say. Ooh, Widowmine does burrow on up. Oh, couple of big shots right there for Maru. Another one in the backfield. This minefield very scary for Serral to deal with. Maru, he picks up. I think that was a bit of a misclick right there for Maru picking up when there wasn't a whole lot from Serral ready to fight. And a lot of it was 0-2 Hydras versus 2-2 Bio. Maru is still doing a good job of keeping Serral on the back foot, but Serral is refusing to get knocked out of this game. Widowmines have pretty much been all cleaned up, but a few more do join up. They have that drilling claws, but there's the Baneling killing 2 of them. A big fight on this bottom side, or sorry, on this top side as the bottom side fight breaks out as well, but Serral will push Maru back. Serral really holding his ground nicely, but Maru's economy is just fantastic, and he's getting close to that 3-3 upgrade setup. Oh, Widowmines. Okay, well mitigated by Serral. It's always a little bit awkward chasing around a corner, but Serral is making a very difficult and tenuous defense look pretty easy. He's doing a really good job of keeping up with Maru here. Maru, though, does have a nice bit of aggression on the bottom side. Ooh, Widowmines. Oh, one of them getting dragged actually into a little bit of the bio. Good job from Serral once again. Hive is still not quite done yet, but +1 missile will complete. Widowmine does get pretty well dealt with by Serral. Maru's still not able to deal with all of this creep on the 5th base location. Serral's done such a good job of keeping that creep alive. Without it, it really feels like he would have lost this base already. Oh, here comes a broad front sweep with the Lings, trying to deal with all the mines. Does manage to trigger all but the very far back one. Serral, can he get a big cleanup here? He's trying. He's pulled all the queens to the front, and they do have a lot of transfuse energy. Meanwhile, we've got a push coming through the middle. Liberator's being added on. That is a big power spike, but here comes the 3-3 as well. Serral going to try and get in on top of this. Widowmine, not getting the best connections. It's actually the Banelings that are really the star of that fight. And Serral gets a big cleanup on the right side while cleaning up on the left as well. Excellent sequence, and he gets the last medevac. Fantastic defense from Serral. And all of a sudden, he's pulled himself into a bit of a supply lead. Oh, Widowmine. Oh, okay. Scan comes down, does spot the army. Serral could have actually killed that mine. Changeling scout. Actually, a couple of changelings all the way, all around the map here. We do see Vipers starting to be added on by Serral. Adrenal glands as well, so that Hive Tech will start to become a big factor in this game for Serral. And with him focusing more on Hydraling Bane here, I do like that he's taking down some of these rocks, going to allow him to take better engagements. Maru, though, still feels like he has a big advantage, and he has outed on these ghosts. Ooh, Widowmine do burrow on up. Getting a couple of decent shots on the Lings. The minefield very difficult to deal with here when it's this well set up. But Serral so far is doing a really good job. Maru, though, going to clear a little bit more creep on the right side. It is a constant tug of war and a really elaborate, difficult one to execute on both sides. We are going to see Serral coming in with a fair amount of Lingbane Hydra on the top side. Baneling's trying to get in on top of the SCV line. There is a counterattack from Maru on the other side. 12 SCVs do go down, but it will be a hatchery for it. Oh, it's hard to say who that's better for, because Maru does not lose the base. Target fire on the creep, trying to get all of it, but he misses. Oh, man, just barely not able to get that last tumor. Ooh, Infester does pop out, but will get killed by the +3 Marauder. Damn. That got absolutely trucked right there, and this little drop being very disruptive for Serral, but Maru will get... will lose one of the medevacs. However, he's using this to attack onto the right side as well. Widowmines, they're a little bit far back. But the Marauders tanking very effectively for the Banelings. And Serral not going to be able to run this whole army down, so that's a pretty good engagement for Maru. Snipe trying to kill one of the Overseers, not able to get the kill. But anytime you can snipe detection is obviously a good thing. Unfortunately, Maru does not have Ghost Cloak, so it would be kind of irrelevant in this case anyways, but keeping the Widowmines alive is still a good thing. Maru is comfortably on 5 bases, and this jumping off point in the middle of Hard Lead is very powerful. Ooh, Widowmines. Oh, wow, they actually do get killed, and a nice fungal growth on the back line. Abduct on the Liberator will be able to deal with this. We do have a counterattack on the top side as well, finding quite a few SCVs. Excellent sequence here for Serral. 11 SCVs going down right there. 28 workers have been killed off by Serral in this game. But Maru is still on a very powerful economy. How many orbitals does he have? 4 orbitals. But more importantly, he's on enough command centers that he can just rebuild SCVs super quickly. Already a bit of a banger of a game here on hard lead. I'm so impressed that Serral just consistently has been able to keep this base on the right side alive. He's really been on the back foot with that. Maru, though, has kept the creep on the right side very mitigated. Oh, looks like a little bit of lost mining time being forced by this Liberator. Maru able to keep that alive as well, which is quite nice. Serral is starting to get towards the +3 missile, +3 melee. Good job from Maru here, clearing out a little bit of creep in the middle as well. Just constant action from these two. Oh, look at that. Nice little surround right there from Serral. Able to even mind dragged into the SCV line just a little bit. And that actually lets him get a couple mules and a couple more SCVs than he probably should have been able to get. Serral doing so many little things well. They really both do. But just a nice job from Serral. Ooh, Shark Fester looking around. Of course, these burrowed infestors are powerful tools. Oh, there was a missile turret that spotted that infestor. Ghost trying to get sniped by the Lings, but it will be the attack on the left side that is the big focus. Liberator does get abducted and killed off. A couple more SCVs going down, but Maru is, of course, going to hold here. Resources lost quite close. Let's take a look at the resources mined. Serral just now finally starting to surge ahead. Usually we see the Zerg is ahead for a while, and that should indicate to you how much of a disadvantage Serral had from the early game, is that he never really got that big economy, or never really got the big economic lead. He's got a good economy now. Serral finally going to give up this base on the right side. Oh, he doesn't drone drill through. So the Baneling's actually going to be the death of 1 or 2 drones. Not as bad as I would have thought. Lings on the top side will try and get through. They do have their +3 melee about to complete. Widowmine does get mitigated a fair bit, but a lot of SCVs going down here. 18, 19 workers fall. Okay, that's some big damage coming in from Serral. Still, Maru is on Supermass Liberator. 14 Liberators now. We're going to see Maru trying to take this right side 6th base. Serral was occupying the position, but obviously he is just going to have to give this up. Oh, no cancel. That's a little bit unfortunate. He's got a big bank, but you don't want to throw away any free money in this game. Oh, does that scan? Oh, it just misses the infestor. Oh my God, it just barely misses it. Widowmine will get dealt with by the Hydras. Good job from Serral. Making sure he doesn't run the Lings in. Ooh, another bird infestor here. Maru does see it with the missile turret. Man. Oh, it's the missile turret on the right. It was like, that seems like way more vision than it should have. That is so many Liberators to deal with, by the way. Well, there are 4 Vipers. Is that enough, though? I don't think he can really engage against this army. Oh, Widowmine. Oh, my God. That was a huge shot. Just a coincidental Widowmine on the field. Meanwhile, little run by on the bottom side from Maru, I think, is going to kill this base. Serral will not be able to save it. It will go down. That is a big loss for just a handful of bio units. And all of a sudden, Maru has kind of evened out the economy. Once again, he's been rebuilding SCVs during all this. Oh, this time there is Ghost Cloak. Man, the Mass Liberator is so scary to deal with. Hydras do not deal as well with Liberators as you would expect when there are this many of them. Now, there is an opportunity for a couple of abducts. Ghost's not in position, so 3 Liberators do get yoinked. Still, there are so many Liberators here. A couple more abducts coming on in. Oh, it's going to be Microbial Shroud to try and deal with this. And that is something Maru was not prepared for. Good engagement coming in from Serral. So he's actually going to find quite a few Liberators. Only 5 left over. Meanwhile, 6 more SCVs go down. That is actually a fantastic decision from Serral. Something I would have never thought of, but it makes sense. You mitigate that Liberator damage. That is a really clever decision from Serral. The Microbial Shroud finding some value still. The ghost count is gigantic. Oh, nice scan right there for Maru. Finds the infestor. If you can get that big fungal growth, it can be huge. There's no neural parasite for the potential steal and neural parasite. Pardon me, the steal and EMP. You're going to see a rotation into the middle of the map. Ooh, can you get the planetary fortress? There's not a whole lot of Banes at the front. Mass repair is not really coming through from Maru. He's actually not repairing it at all. And Banelings will show up and finally do take the base down. Quite a few SCVs going down as well. Feels like Maru could have at least exacted a bigger toll there, but it was still kind of expensive for Serral. And, I mean, he just starts mining from it again. He's got an orbital right there. Meanwhile, orbital on the left side. Serral has done a good job of doing constant SCV damage, but Maru just continues to rebuild. As I say that, though, since it is an orbital, a couple more SCVs do get sniped. Little Ling run by on the top side. Maru quick to respond, but it's still going to be a few more dead SCVs. Serral, ooh, nice burrow move right there. Even though it may not seem like it, forcing those scans is still a good move. Now, with 5 orbitals, it's not as big of a deal as it could be. Oh, Parasitic Bomb could be huge on these Liberators, but instead he's going to go for the Abduct and the Blinding Cloud. EMP very late on the Hydras. Obviously, he was trying to aim at the Vipers, but didn't get much time. Oh, late game Raven coming in from Maru. So he's going to try and deal with these Infestors. Oh, no, Serral, no! That was a little bit silly. Obviously, it is tough to get those openings. Speaking of which, we do see the Lings once again finding an opening on the left side. That's going to be a lot of dead SCVs. So many dead SCVs. But drones will get sniped. I actually don't think using snipe right there is the best usage of energy. Oh, but that's a lot of drones on the top side. They are trying to find an opening to mine from that tight right side base. It might not seem like it, but Serral losing 19 drones is a lot worse than Maru losing 31 SCVs. Well, okay, if he loses like 50, then it's a different story. Which he does actually lose like quite a few. But Maru can replenish a lot more easily, and he's got access to those orbitals. Serral will find a couple of the static defenses here on the left side. That sensor tower and that missile turret, a little bit unattended. Maru, though, does have vision of this move into the middle thanks to that sensor tower. It will get taken down, and that is an expensive building, but relatively small potatoes. Still, Serral has a bank. Maru does not. However, because Serral lost all those drones, it's actually a really big problem for him. He's not going to be able to just keep throwing units at his opponent. Another cancel on a base on the right side, by the way, by Maru. Maru is rebuilding SCVs right now, 5 at a time. But the big problem is, oh my god, 24 ghosts. It's just a ridiculous number of ghosts at this point. Man, the run-bys from Serral have been outstanding. He is doing such a good job with these run-bys. Really giving Maru the business. But Maru kills the center base. He's going to isolate this base on the right side, on the left side, and kill it. Actually, a couple of add-ons being targeted down by Serral as well. Oh, and there's no depots in the wall. So Serral's going to be able to kill potentially even more here. Can he find any of the Liberators, anything kind of isolated? Ooh, Serral does see these libs, but there's Ghost behind it. Not really an opportunity to unburrow. There's the scan. He finds the Infestor. Big move from Maru. Serral will move around in the middle of the map, or in the main base. Oh, and scan actually misses some of the Lings, so okay, there we go. There's the double scan. Maru going to be able to get the cleanup. He did cloak up the Ghosts to make sure that they stayed alive. Maru is starting to run a little bit low on opportunities to mine. Serral has really been all over Maru, but Serral has not been able to mine too much in the last little bit either. And his bank is very depleted. Both players on a gigantic army supply. It really feels like Serral cannot fight Maru's army at this point, though. Feels like he needs to land some big parasitic bombs on those Liberators in order to find an opening. But it's going to be tough to do so with the Ghost count as high as it is. Oh, another Ling run by on the top side. This time there was no Liberator in position. But it will show up. A couple of them show up, in fact. And Serral at this point, he doesn't want to lose too much. We are going to see a fungal growth to start things off. Microbial Shroud once again. A lot of Microbial Shrouds coming in, and big abducts. We will see the anti-armor missile actually going to be very valuable. Liberators getting abducted, but most of the Vipers go down, and I don't think Serral's got enough to deal with this. Maru, too much stuff. couple of fungal growths did land on the army, but Maru comes out of it with a 50 army supply lead. That feels like that was the decisive engagement after a long time of back and forth action on hard lead. It feels like Maru has finally broken Serral. It was very close up until that engagement. It could have gone either way. We will see Serral on the top side going to try and counterattack with some Hydras. And Maru, I mean, he's in a really good position. His army is gigantic, but Serral might still have some plays to make. He does still have quite a few Lings and Banes. And if he can get the right engagement, he can still make some magic happen. However, it is going to be tough to do so. I think with his gas bank, he should be focusing on building infestors. Ooh, Snipe's going to come down. It will kill a couple of queens. We will see Serral going for the fight. I don't think this is it. Does get a lot of ghosts right there, but there's still 12 left on the field. Maru still has so much to work with. And Serral, oh man, he's killed so many workers in this game. They both have. But it feels like Maru is doing it here. Liberators in the middle of the map. Serral will get on top of them. We'll be able to grab 4 Liberators. He's going to lose more and more of those Hydras, though. The supplies are surprisingly still close, but it's the army supply that is a big advantage. We do have this base on the top side. Oh, it's going to get defended here by Serral. Killing a couple of ghosts. That's actually pretty big. Oh, man, I really would like to see some infestors being added on. That feels like it is the only option right now for Serral. Like a huge, massive fungal growth, maybe even a fungal growth blinding cloud combo. Maru, though, going to go straight up the gut. We do see one infestor being added on. I'd like to see the infestors. Oh, I was just going to say it from the top side base. Maru has not been able to mine from this left side base for a while. He doesn't have much mining in the middle. There's actually a burrowed Hydra here. And a little Hydra run by, but ooh, is this going to be enough for Maru? Yes, it will. We might have needed to see a blinding cloud there to fight this. Maru lifting up into the medevacs. That is bold, but it is going to work out for him. Blinding cloud does come down, but I think too many Hydras have gone down here. There's now a 30 army supply advantage. Serral going to lose all of his units in the middle map and will be forced to tap out. Maru takes a banger of a game number 1. All right, here we go for game number 2. After an already fantastic game 1. Spawning down on the bottom left for Basilisk, it is Serral in the red. And he's going to go for an Extractor Trick 15 hatch. And his opponent spawning up at the top right. For onside, it is Maru in the blue. These two already have a storied rivalry. For a while, it was pretty... it was a little bit Maru favored. And then Serral swung the pendulum heavily in his favor. And now, after a long time of Serral not dropping a map to Maru, I want to say it was like 7 series, or maybe seven games. It was quite a few games in a row. Now we see Maru actually winning 2 maps in a row and looking to make it a 3rd and start his own little streak and get that rivalry fired up a little bit more. I will say Serral did a phenomenal job with the Ling run-bys. And the Microbial Shroud usage was clever versus those Liberators, those Ghosts. Well, really, the Microbial Shroud was against the Liberators, obviously. But that one engagement, where would you say that was? I guess north of the 3 o'clock base of Serral. He committed a little bit too hard down a ramp into a concave, even with a good setup. The thing is, there's so many spells now that Zerg can use for an engagement like that. So Microbial Shroud, Fungal Growth, Blinding Cloud, Abduct, and in theory, even a Neural Parasite can be quite useful there. So there's a lot of things to be done there. But Maru did ultimately outlast Serral just a little bit in that game. Now we are going to see Maru skipping the Scout with an SCV, and it is an Extractor Trick 15 hatch, which means Serral's able to slip a couple of Lings out onto the map. Maru's going to have to be a little bit careful about the potential of this. I do really love the Extractor Trick 15 hatch for this option. Oh, Reaper going very deep right there, almost getting killed off. Where is the Marine right now? It is on the top of the ramp. It's not double marine, so there is danger here. And the command center, I think, is going to be delayed a little bit. Serral will be able to at least force the SCV to stop building it for a moment. But that's about it. Forces an extra SCV pull, but that's not too big of a deal. Third hatchery coming on in behind us. Where is the Reaper? It's actually being brought back home to go hunting for these lings. Oh, Maru, does he actually find them? Yes. Oh, he did. Okay. I was like, if he didn't see that, that's actually a bit of a disappointment, but he will. He will see it. And he's not even going to bother micring because he wins this fight. Could have been a little bit awkward if the lings had gotten the right lineup there. Losing a Reaper to 2 slow lings would have obviously been quite embarrassing, but Maru knows the math, and he knows he doesn't have to do anything there, so he's focusing on just the other little attention to detail of the build order. We do see another Marine being built here from Maru. He's not going to do anything with that, right? He's just looking to go hunting for the Overlord? Yeah, okay. And it will be a Hellion Liberator play. We're starting to see Terrans going for this a lot more, and the reasoning behind that is that the Cyclone, the early game Cyclone in ZBT, makes Roach builds really uncomfortable to go for, and as such, you don't want to go for Roach builds. So that means you don't necessarily have to go for Cloak Banshee as the Terran. And so it's a clever little move. We are seeing Serral going for a ton of lings, by the way. He is going to look to get a lot of damage done into the natural of Maru. Maru does have a couple of Hellions at home. Might try and run by with 4 Hellions. There's the lings. They're going to get the wraparound. Oh, the Hellion just slips out, but it's still going to be a full surround. Nice job right there from Serral. Does get a kill on the Hellions. That should be a few dead SCVs, but the Liberator, of course, will help to clean this up. It's going to be 3 SCVs and 2 Hellions. Was that enough? I don't think so, actually. Well, no, he got a couple Marines as well. 3 Marines, 2 Hellions, 3 SCVs. Okay, with the Marines getting killed off, yeah, that's enough to justify it. Yeah, that's actually... Yeah, that's pretty decent. And he sees that it's a Liberator, so it's a little bit of scouting information. Did he see that the engineering base had started at the natural? No, they just started. Yeah, no, I actually think this is decent for Serral. Did he get up the ramp to see that the transition was up? Yeah, he did. Okay. No, you know what? Yeah, I'm okay with this for Serral, certainly. Oh, Liberator in the main base trying to get something done. Nope, didn't get any drones. Does get pushed away. And Serral just had the Spore Crawler finishing up. Good creep spread from Serral through the right side. Yeah, no, that was certainly an effective ling run by. Kind of forgot about the Marines that he killed off, but getting those does make it worthwhile. If it wasn't for the Liberator, that probably would have been like 7 dead SCVs. So good job from Maru to siege that up right away, and really crisis managed his way through the situation nicely. 1-1 on the way for Maru. Serral getting into his Bane speed in the double Evo chamber as well. Hellion's going to try and find an opening on the bottom side, but Serral is, well, he's well positioned with the Queens. Really well positioned, to be honest. 9 Queens already on the field. Maru, single medevac. Is that... Okay, yeah, that's a bit of an oopsie right there. Didn't build the second medevac. That's actually... Oh, no, the first medevac already popped. Never mind. Okay, so then it was the second medevac that was a little bit delayed. Transfuse going to keep this 1 Queen alive. Creep spread is starting to get pretty solid here. Maru a little bit late with his combat shields timing, but you can see the difference between... Look at the drone count difference between games 1 and 2. At this point in the game, Serral was on like 60 drones, 57, 60 drones, and had to start making defensive units. This game, he's on 77 drones. Literally a nearly 20 worker difference. I'm not sure if it was 50. I think it was 57 that he stopped at before. Still, this is a strong-looking push from Maru. But if Serral had this start and had gotten the number of worker kills that he did, I'm almost certain he would have won game 1. Maru does have a siege tank, and he's got this Liberator here as well. Serral just now getting information that this attack is coming. Nice positioning on the tank. I think I might have liked it a little bit further south, but it actually does hit the mineral line and gets a fair bit of creep as well. Second tank showing on up here. Actually, yeah, this is such a great siege tank position. Serral does not have 1-1 done yet. Combat Shields is about to complete, but it's not done right this second. Hellions in the backside are in a good position to deal with this. Lings and Bangs trying to get in on top of this, but the hot pickup is good from Maru. Liberator will get a... gets one Queen. Oh, and the Queen's a little bit caught off creep. Transfuse not going to be able to save them. In fact, a couple more Queens going to go down as well. Target fire on the Banes. Good job from Maru. That is a phenomenal push all of a sudden. Banelings will complete momentarily. Oh, but they get targeted down. Only one or two of them connecting. 1-1 about to complete for Serral, but it is not in time to allow him to save this base. Maru gets a hell of a lot done with this attack. About as much as you could ever ask for. And he's going to clear up a fair amount of creep behind this. Oh, this is a fantastic advantage for Maru now. He is low on energy for the medevacs, but a couple more do show up. Serral really on the back foot now. Baneling Nest is under fire. Oh, man, this positioning from Maru. Great push. Ooh, Serral going to intercept some reinforcements in the middle of the map. That's a nice move from Serral. Very nice move, in fact. Going to find quite a few of these Marines. And can Serral get the siege tank? No, it's in a little bit of an awkward position to get this around on the ramp. Serral actually did start his 2-2 faster than that of Maru. But Maru has certainly got the initiative right now. 4th command center is done and landed. Maru going to siege up on the bottom side. He's cleared up so much creep on this bottom side of the map. I think I'd actually like to have seen him maybe focus on clearing up even more creep. Going for this attack into the main feels like it gives Serral an opportunity to get a potentially good cleanup and get back into this game. Big siege tank shot right there, though. Huge siege tank shot just before it went down. That was like 6 Banelings that just got killed off. That was a massive find for Maru. And Serral really on the back foot right now. Meanwhile, Maru going to push up on the top side with another army, and that will be a denial on this base. Ooh, that's a kill, not a cancel. That is expensive. Widowmine starting to be added on as well. Big mine shot. Does get a bit of friendly fire. And the siege tanks do get kind of isolated here. Hydra range is done. Oh, good job from Serral. Baits out 2 of those mines. They don't get much done. Overseer will complete momentarily. There's that creep clear I was looking for before. Serral actually getting supply blocked a little bit, losing that last Overlord. But yeah, Maru, it feels like if instead of going into the main base, even though it went pretty well for him, with the siege tank shot on the low ground, it feels like if he cleared out all the creep in the middle of the map, Serral would kind of be in an unrecoverable position. But as it is, if Serral can consolidate for a while, get a 5th base once again, establish his hive and take a couple of good trades, he could find himself back in this game. And of course, that high-yield gas base is going to matter quite a bit. Maru, though, definitely in the driver's seat in this game. Up in SCVs, up in army supply. Oh, Widowmines are going to burrow on up. Oh, only one of them getting a shot, and it's not a very good one. Meanwhile, Widowmine's not burrowing here in the middle. So that's a pretty good skirmish for Serral. And that came off the back of a small upgrade advantage. 2-2 versus 2-1. Maru going to try and get back into the main base. Serral will rotate back in here. He does have a lot of queens, but that is a lot of medevacs to heal up this bio. Queens, oh, do target down 2 medevacs very quickly. And there's enough lanes here. Nice job from Serral. Maru, he's got to be careful. Will lose another medevac, a full medevac. Massive cleanup from Serral right there. And just like that, after a big blunder from Maru, Serral gets back into the game in a big way. Ooh, and Banes gets some big connections on the top side as well. So all of a sudden, the supplies are much closer than they were moments ago. Multiple Widowmines not getting the shots they're looking for. Serral mitigating that last one as well. Huge cleanup. And all of a sudden, we've got a 30 army supply advantage for Serral. Maru, ooh, barely escapes out with this medevac. This was looking like it might have been just over, but Serral finds a couple of huge engagements. Maru not lifting up and getting out with everything out of the main base, and then getting cleaned up on the top side as well. Serral has certainly reestablished himself back in this game. Ooh, but Maru, oh no, do not lose all those lanes. That's quite a hefty loss for Serral. Maru finding a nice little cleanup in the middle, and it is important to note that this is still not a good situation for Serral. He has fought back, and he is certainly in this game again. But the creep has been really heavily cut down. He is reestablishing it effectively right now. He's got Hive done. And Maru's 3-3 is still not kicked in yet. So there is opportunities for Serral in this game. But Maru is definitely still in a decent position. We are going to see this base on the bottom side getting killed off once again. Serral needs to defend his top side now. Absolutely. He cannot afford to lose this base. Maru, though, is pressuring. Widowmine's getting a couple of drones. But could have been worse. Could have been worse for Serral. Still, Maru is... Oh, he's going to lift up and go into the main base once again. Only one Spore Crawler, and it's not really in position to deal with this. Maru wisely this time backs away. Once again, would really like to see him go for the middle and try and clear as much creep as he can right there. Fungal Growth does actually land on the army. A nice chain fungal from Serral, and that will get him a couple of ghosts, as well as, I think, one medevac. So good little cleanup again from Serral. Maru, though, there is an opportunity for him to fight not around creep on the top side. Serral, though, does get in on top of the army. Able to pick off a ghost. And there's not a lot of medevacs here. Nice abduct on the ghost again from Serral. Serral is getting some really great pickoffs here, despite a very uncomfortable position, constantly losing this pocket base. Maru is on 5 bases comfortably, and he does have this high-yield gas base. He's got his 3-3. Maru is also going to be ahead in upgrades for a very long time because Serral is not getting his 3-2 upgrades or his 2-3 upgrades or +3 melee. 2-1-2 versus 3-3 is a huge upgrade disadvantage. Oh, look at that burrowed lane timing. And the changeling spotting the timing on the 6th base. Serral going to try and find a little something in the middle. Won't be able to deny these command centers. He is going to try and pincer this army. It's a little bit of a disjointed multi-prong, though. Parasitic Bomb will land on the medevacs, but the bottom side of the army gets completely cleaned up before the top side can join up. And that is going to be a pretty good fight for Maru. I would say, actually, a very good fight for Maru. A lot of units going down for Serral. And he is not easily able to replenish them. Maru has been out mining Serral for the last little bit of this game. And as he establishes this 6th base, it is only going to get worse for the Finnish phenom, unless, of course, Serral can either A, shut down a base, which, well, good luck shutting down this base. That's, well, actually, there's not much static defense, just a lot of Sim City. But the sensor tower is going to make it difficult to deal with. Difficult to sneak in on, I should say. Maru denying the bottom side base. Good job there. Serral does still have some decent creep in the middle of the map, but it is really all that is... that's about the only place where he has that creep spread. Maru doing a good job of scanning around, looking for those infestors. And here comes the advanced ballistics and the range... Well, the Liberators, the mass Liberator transition. Maru doing a good job of keeping tabs on Serral's army with those scans. Serral trying to slip by with a fair amount of Lingbane Hydra. Another Burrowed Infestor looking around, sharking around. Oh, can Serral get the jump? Those ghosts are so clumped up. But he cannot get the wraparound. Still, he's going to break the position. Very good fight from Serral. Oh, the Banelings not able to connect on the ghosts. Fungal Growth, he does get a couple of ghosts on the backside, but not the massive number that he was hoping for. Still, very good jump from Serral. Massive pickoffs. Oh, and look at that. He barely saves the creep spread in the middle of the map. Oh, that's actually pretty huge. There is a Burrowed Infestor here. Quite a few mines, though. Serral is about to finish... Well, he just finished up his +2 missile and is about to finish up that +3 Carapace as well. Ooh, snipes on the Vipers. Finds one of them. Ooh, a Mind Drag into some of the ghosts there, and we'll be able to find 3 ghosts right there. Serral's doing a really good job of finding these pickoffs here. Maru getting caught by the surround in the middle of the map, having a tough time dealing with this army. Maru, ooh, I think he is going to lose this base. SCVs will get blown up. Planetary will go down, but of course these command centers are ready to retake this position. Serral does have the base on the top side. We see Maru wanting to establish that as well. Oh man, this series is fantastic between these two. Widowmine somehow complete. Not able to reach those lings. They must have been just out of range. Man, these 2 creep tumors are huge actually for Serral. Giving him a little bit more creep in the middle of the map is really nice. Ooh, big mine shots. Oh, that looks like just one big mine shot. Lings will get in on top of this base. Hydra's trying to find some openings as well, but it's mostly just the SCV damage. And it's actually pretty decent SCV damage coming in from Serral. Finally knocking Maru's economy back down a little bit. I think Serral needs to do more, though. I think he needs to deny that bottom side base. Oh, looks like he was able to burrow some Lings up. Maru is once again on that mass Liberator setup that is such a problem for Serral to deal with. Ooh, I don't know about taking an engagement right here from Serral. He's just going to have to give up the base, and he will, but he gets a bit of a bloody nose while he does it. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, having to destroy the planetary, Serral will be able to find a little bit of an opening here, but Maru simply pulls back to the secondary planetary. Say that one fast time. Fast times 5. 5 times fast. Secondary planetary. Tipperary. Maru realizing that there's no base there. Ooh, scan comes down, looks at the infestors, finds them. No, he doesn't actually see this one. Oh, but Serral goes back into the scan range. Unfortunate. He's been unable to land that big, massive fungal he's been looking for pretty much this entire series. Phenom Mine does kill a Hydra right there. Liberators sieging on up. They are going to be able to defend this base. More SCVs will fall. Good job from Serral getting some damage there, but it's not that many. Ooh, and a little bio run by will deny the bottom side base and going to be able to kill this pocket base again. Good job from Maru. And these Lings, they're all going to get cleaned up here by the Liberators. Oh, the fungal growth, but the army's not in position. He lands the money fungal, but there was nothing there to follow through. Oh my god, it was the dream fungal. But unfortunately, it was that dream where you wake up and you forget it in the morning. And it's like it never happened at all. Oh, that could have been the game, actually, if he had something to channel or to follow through on it. Liberators are going to siege up and cover the army. 13 Liberators on the field. Still so many of them here. Hydra's, Lings, and Banes. They are going to be able to deal with these Liberators now. Ooh, Parasitic Bomb on the Liberators would be nice, but doesn't really find the opportunity for it. Serral will still snipe down 1 or 2 of those Libs. Phenom Mine. Ooh, good mitigation from Serral. Still finds a couple of Lings. Nice little dragon drop right here from Maru, getting back into his own mineral line around this base. Hydras do find a... Oh, wow. They actually find a surprising opening on this high-yield base, this high-yield gas base. Love to see Serral. Oh, look at that. Burrows the Hydras. Oh, scan comes down, finds the infestor. Maru has been unendingly scanning. Hey, I was just going to say, would love to see him go after the center town. He does get it. But Hydras will, of course, get cleaned up, and that is still expensive. That's 600 resources lost, 400 minerals, 200 gas. Serral is down in the bank. Oh, man. The fungal that was, but also could have been. We're going to see the engagement coming in. I don't think this is it for Serral. Ghosts were not in position, but the Bio Forces and the Liberators just wreak havoc. Fungal growth on the backside of the Ghost does connect, but they cloak up. There's no detection left over, and that will still be a cleanup for Maru. GG gets called, and Maru takes the 2-0. Absolute banger of a series. But Maru gets it done. And if you enjoyed that one, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Check out the rest of the videos, and we will catch you on the flip side.